Hello guys, welcome to Selenium with CHAS training session 21. In today's session, you will learn what is context click and double click. So context click is nothing but the right click. For few of the important option, right? It can be button, it can be link. You need to right click, right? So right click is nothing but the context click. So action class in Selenium is mostly used to perform complex keyboard and mouse operation. Action class is perform operations such as right or context click and double click in Selenium. So right click or context click is mostly used when performing right click on an element opens a new menu. Right click operation in Selenium WebDriver can be done with the help of context click method available in the actions class. So what we need to do, first we need to create an object or instance for the actions class. Then we need to identify the element, web element, right? For which we need to perform the right click or context click with the help of the relevant element locator technique. It can be ID, name, class name, expert, CSS, right? Link text or partial link text. After that, with the help of action class object, we'll be calling context click method and we'll be using build and perform method as well, right? So let's see how we can perform the context click operation. So you can see, so in the project, right, Selenium WebDriver tutorial, we're trying to launch the browser, maximize the browser. We're trying to open the URL, right, internet, right, heroqapps.com context click. So if you go to the URL here, you could see there's an option available, right? If you here double click or left click, right, or select, nothing is happening. But if you right click here, you can see that message is getting displayed, right? So only if you right click or only that operations, I mean it is something is getting displayed, right, as part of your alert, right? So how you can handle this kind of element, right? So you have to use double click or context click. So there is no right click or context click. There is no method available called right click. That is called this context click in the Selenium WebDriver. So we already opening that web page in our Visual Studio. Let's identify the element with the help of F12 button. So let's try to inspect the element first. So I can mouse over to the element here. You can see the ID. It is starting with div and ID is hotspot, right? So I can identify the element, right? So just try to identify the create a variable and store it some web element, right? So it is element equal to driver dot find element with the help of ID. I can identify the element dot by dot ID. What is the ID? Hotspot. This is the ID. So I am identifying the element first, right? Then I need to create an object, for instance, for the actions class available in Selenium WebDriver. So action class equal to new actions. Here I need to typecast the driver object, whatever we created for the IWebDriver. So that's why I can create an object or instance for the action class, right? Then what we need to do, we need to use that actions class object in context click, the element difference, then build.perform, right? So that is the thing I need to do it, right? So I'll be using that actions class object dot context click, right? You can see this is the context click. Here I need to provide the information of the element, right? And then you can see after that I need to use build.perform. You can see the build is coming, right? And again if you select build and then you need to use perform, right? So that's why you can click on the context click, right, or right click. So now if you right click it, then what will happen? It is some displaying some sort of alert, right? So how can you handle the alert? How can you get the text of the alert, right? So I can create iAlert interface. You can see this is the iAlert interface. So alert equal to driver dot switch to, right, with the help of driver dot switch to dot alert. I can move to the alert, right? I can move to the alert. Then if I need to print out the alert message, right, I can print out in the console. So console dot write line. So what I print out, I want to print out that alert dot text. Then if I want to accept the alert, so I will be alert accepting the alert dot accept, right? And then I can quit the driver. I can close the driver dot close. Now for each and every operation, maybe you can wait for 2 seconds, right? Okay, so I think some error message is coming. So what is the error message? Okay, alert dot accept. Okay, it's gone now. So I can wait for 2 seconds. So first I am navigating to the web page. Then I am identifying the element, right, where I need to perform the right click operation or the context click, right? After that alert will be there, so I need to handle the alert. So I am identifying the element which we need to right click here with the help of the ID. Then I am creating an object or instance for the actions class, right? And then with that actions class object, I am context click or which is right click with the element reference build.perform. Then as alert will be there, so I will be creating an object or instance for the iAlert interface, right? driver.switch2.alert. Then I am print out the alert text in the console. I am accepting the alert. I am closing the browser, right? For each and every step, now I can wait for 2 seconds time. So thread dot sleep. So I will be waiting for 2 seconds every time. So after context click, I will wait for 2 seconds. After that, alert will be there. Then I will wait for 2 seconds and I will accept the alert. After that, I will close the browser after waiting 2 seconds. So that's the code I have written. So I am navigating to the web page, right? I am right click on the web page, so alert will be there. I will be handling the alert, getting the text, and I wait for 2 seconds. I will accepting the alert, wait for 2 seconds, and quitting the browser. So that's why I will be performing the right click or the context click operation on the relevant web element. So let's try to run the code and let's see what is happening here. So it will try to launch the browser first. It will maximize the browser. So you can see Chrome browser is getting started successfully. So it will open the browser first. It will maximize the browser. It will load the page. Once the page is fully loaded, it will identify the element. It will right click, you can see, and after that, waiting for 2 seconds, it will click on the OK button. After that, it will close the browser. So that's why you can getting it, right? And now you can see that alert message is getting displayed after the context click, right? You selected a context menu. So if you also right click here, you can see that is the message is being displayed. So my code is completely working fine, right? So you selected a context menu. So that's why in case for a particular element you need to right click or context click, right? You can use the same line of code and same approach, right? Now say I will be doing the double click, right? So how can we do that? So let's go to the another URL. So this is the URL. I can go to the URL in my code as well directly. So let's comment it out and let's try to go to the URL, new URL, where I will be performing the double click. So this is the another URL from guru99.com. So okay, you can see there's an option called right click and right click or double click, right? So this is the option double click. If you left click or if you right click, nothing is being happen actually. But if you double click only 2 times you have to click, then you can see some error message is displayed, right? So here normal click operation will not work. right? So let's try to identify the element. Let's inspect the element first, and let's try to use click operation, and let's see whether something is happening or not. So I can create a XPath here. So I need to identify the element first. So it's button, and what is that? What is the text here? Double click on this is the text. So I'll be starting with button. I'll be creating XPath / button text equal to, you can see the element is being highlighted, right? So I'll be creating a web element here. So similar way I'll be creating a web element. Let's create a web element with the help of XPath. So web element, again element, right? Element, double click. Okay, driver.findElement here by.XPath, and here I need to change the XPath, right? Whatever we have selected for the XPath. So that's why I will be identifying the element, right? Now in case I am able to perform the operation for click, right? Let's see whether click is working or not. No, here click will not be working because I need to double click only, then something will happen, right? But if you right click here, you can show that inspect button is coming, right? Inspect code button is coming. So that is different story. But here if you single click, it is not click, and the element, sorry, that alert is not being displayed. Only if you double click here, click 2 times, then error messaging displayed. So let's try to single click, and let's see whether something is being displayed here. With the button we are able to work something. So it will not be able to do it because that button only double click operations so you can perform, actions you can perform. So I have to take the help from the action class, right? And you need to double click. We need to use the double click method. Then only we can perform the operation. So here the page will be open, and once the page is fully loaded, right, it will try to identify the element, but the double click operation will not be performed with the help of single click. It is not, I mean, no action can be performed on the button here. So nothing will happen, and that alert will not come. So it is taking some time because I think some sort of Ajax is there. A JavaScript, with the help of JavaScript the page has been developed, so it might take some time, 30 seconds around. But once the page is fully loaded, you could see nothing will happen, right? You can see nothing. It is selecting the element, but nothing is happened. No operation is performed, right? Able to perform. So what we have to do, right? Similar way we have to create an object instance for the actions class, right? Then with the help of double click method we can use it. So double click operation is used when the state of the web element changes after double click operation only. Double click operation in Selenium WebDriver can be done with the help of double click. So I need to create an object instance for the actions class. So I will be taking that one. So I will be creating an object instance. So I can comment out this one because this will not work here, right? Then what I need to do, with the help of the actions class, I need to move to the element. First I need to mouse over to the element. Then I need to double click and I need to perform the operation, right? So I will be using act.moved, right? Move to element. We need to move to cursor to the element. Move to element, where I need to provide the element reference. So what is my element reference? This is my element reference. You can see it is also suggestion is giving up. After that I need to double click, right? And I need to perform the operation .perform. So that's why I need to double click. So once you double click, right, automatically you will be getting the alert. Similar way you can handle the alert. So I can wait for 2 seconds. So there is no need to write in a new code. So I will be using the same way. So here I am just navigating to the URL. I am identifying the element, right, where I need to double click here. I will be creating an object with the help of actions class, and with the help of the object whatever I created for the actions class, I am moving to the element. Which element? The element double click, where we have identified with the help of XPath. Then I am performing the double click operations. I will be waiting for 2 seconds. Then whatever alert message is there, right, so I will be handling the alert message with the help of iAlert interface. I am printing the message in the console, so I will wait for 2 seconds. I am accepting the alert, wait for 2 seconds, I am closing the browser. So that's why you can write double click in case any button is there where only double click operation is possible, and you can get something with the help of double click. So whenever you need to perform this kind of operations, right, so you need to use actions class, right, and then only you need to create an object or instance, and with the help of that you can call context click or double click method, right, and you can perform the right click or the double click operations for the particular web element. So you can see the page is getting displayed, right, browser is open, maximize, and the page is trying to get load. Once the page is fully loaded, it will double click on the double click me to see alert that button, and after that pop-up or alert will be displayed. Wait for 2 seconds, it will get the text of the alert in the console, it will click accept the alert, wait for 2 seconds, it will close the browser. So you can see that's why it's working. Right, and it will quit the browser. Okay, and you can see the message is being printed in the console, right, you double click me, thank you. So that is the exact message, right. If you go to the page here, if you double click here, you can see that is the alert message. You double click me, thank you, right. So that is the alert message is being displayed in the console as well. So that is the approach where we can perform the context click and double click, right. So we need to take the help from the actions class, and after that with the help of the object or instance whatever we have created, we need to call the context click. So whenever we'll be using context click, we need to use the build and perform method as well. But whenever we'll be using double click, first we need to move to the element, then we need to double click and perform the double clicks. Okay, so that's all from today's session. Thank you.